Hey there, and welcome to today's Explainer. I'm genuinely so pumped you're here because, honestly, we're looking at a modern digital gold rush right now. Today, we're going to master the exact blueprint for creating viral AI shorts. And the absolute best part? We're doing the whole shebang using entirely free AI tools. So, if you've ever sat there wondering how creators are just rapidly growing these massive audiences and getting monetized practically overnight without spending a single dime on production, well, you're in exactly the right place. Get ready, because we're about to turn basic ideas into some absolute digital alchemy. Okay, let's dive right into this, because this number, it's honestly mind-blowing. 11. The original creator behind the source material we're looking at got their entire channel monetized after uploading just 11 of these specific AI shorts. I mean, think about that for a second. Not hundreds of videos grinding away for months, just 11 perfectly crafted, highly strategic pieces of content. They totally cracked the code, and today we are going to reverse engineer their exact process.
So here's our agenda for today's explainer. First up, the viral story formula. Then, generating consistent character images. After that, converting images to HD. Then we'll cover editing for maximum retention. And finally, viral audio and uploading.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the viral story formula, and specifically the psychology of the hook. Here is the exact 15-second narrative arc you need to follow. It's basically a three-part psychological masterpiece. Step 1, the emotional hook. Right there in the first 0 to 3 seconds. You've absolutely got to start with a really sad or emotional scene. Think like a poor little puppy who has absolutely no toys, or maybe it's being bullied by bad people who are breaking its things. This instantly breeds curiosity. Viewers just literally have to know what happens next. Then step 2, from 3 to 12 seconds, is the real struggle. You actually show the character's daily hard work. And then finally, step 3, the 12 to 15-second mark, is the happy ending. The character succeeds, proves the bully's wrong, and leaves the viewer feeling deeply, deeply satisfied. And you know what? That feeling directly translates into likes and subscriptions. Now, here's a totally fascinating strategy from our source. To truly make this work, you want to tailor the emotional narrative specifically for younger audiences. Instead of showing super complex adult struggles, you translate real-life professions into simpler, highly relatable animal challenges. Just imagine a tiny puppy working at an Indian railway station, right? Selling samosas from a basket on its head just to survive, or diligently cleaning a toilet with a brush. By taking a very real-world struggle, like a street vendor or a cleaner, and putting it on a cute animal, you completely bypass the viewer's cynical filters and create this pure, undeniable emotional connection across all age groups. And you might be wondering, why do we care so much about this emotional connection? Well, it's because of this hard truth. Your title, your description, your perfectly optimized tags, honestly, they're completely secondary. They might give you a tiny little initial bump in the algorithm, but whether your video actually goes viral depends entirely on how long viewers stay watching. Audience retention is the ultimate king. That emotional, highly structured story formula we just talked about is your absolute strongest tool to physically keep their eyes glued to the screen until the very last frame. Moving right along to Section 2, generating consistent character images. This is where we focus on creating the visuals. Now, what's really interesting about this process is the exact tool stack needed to maintain that crucial character consistency across totally different scenes. So, you start over in the ChatGPT app. You upload a clear screenshot of an animal character you like, and you just ask ChatGPT to generate a base reference image of that specific character. Once you've got that base character dialed in, you take that image right over to Google AI Studio. You upload it there and use it as your visual anchor while you generate all your different action prompts. And definitely note that technical requirement on the right. You absolutely must specify a 9:16 aspect ratio so it perfectly fits the YouTube Shorts format. Let's actually look at the exact prompts you'll be feeding into Google AI Studio. So once your base image is uploaded, you type in these highly descriptive actions. Something like the puppy is inside an Indian railway station selling samosas in a basket on its head, and a man is taking a samosa from the puppy's hand. Or maybe create an image where the puppy is cleaning the toilet with a brush. It is genuinely incredible how these super simple text-based descriptions combined with your base image instantly turn into high-quality, deeply emotional art. It keeps your specific character perfectly recognizable, scene after scene.
All right, let's jump to Section 3, converting images to HD. We're bringing your art to life.
But hey, before you do anything in Grok AI, you absolutely must heed this vital technical tip. Go straight into the behavior settings and immediately disable automatic video generation. Why? Because Grok gives you a hard daily limit of about 15 to 20 free credits. If you leave auto generation on, the system might literally generate a video the second you upload an image before you've even had a chance to type your prompt. So yeah, this simple little togger protects your precious free credits from being totally wasted on accidental generations. With your credits safe and sound, the workflow here is incredibly fast. You just upload your static image from Google AI Studio right into Grok AI. Then you input a super short, direct action description that matches the image, like the puppy is cleaning the toilet. You wait a mere 15 to 20 seconds and boom, the tool animates the scene. But don't stop there. Always click the upscale feature. This takes your newly generated clip and converts it into a crystal clear HD video. In literally seconds, your static art is moving, breathing, and totally ready for the screen. Which brings us to section 4, editing for maximum retention. This is the fast-paced workflow.
Okay, get ready, because these are the rapid-fire editing settings you need to apply to absolutely every single project in an app like CapCut or VN. First, verify your overall aspect ratio is set to 9:16. Next, if your AI tools happen to leave any watermarks on the edges, no problem. Just use a 2-finger zoom on your clip to enlarge it slightly and push those watermarks right out of frame. Then, we get really aggressive with the pacing. Take those 6-second clips Grok generated and ruthlessly trim them down to just 3 or 4 seconds. To make it even punchier, crank the video's speed up to 1.6x or 1.7x. And finally, glue all these rapid-fire clips together with a quick 0.3-second black fade transition.
So, the crucial point here is understanding this concept of retention editing. These specific metrics we just went over, they aren't just random aesthetic choices, they are totally non-negotiable for viral success on Shorts platforms. By artificially increasing the clip speed to 1.6x and chopping those durations down to just 3 seconds, you're actively preventing viewer drop-off. You're simply not giving their brains a single second to get bored and scroll away. And that leads us to our final stop, Section 5, Viral Audio and Uploading, the final polish. All right, the very first rule of audio here, completely mute the original audio that came with your AI-generated video. It's usually super random and pretty useless anyway. Instead, you want to manually add viral sound effects, which you can easily grab for free from sites like Pixabay. The trick is, you absolutely must match the audio to the specific emotion of the scene. If it's a super sad scene with a mocked puppy, use an angry baby crying sound effect. If the puppy's actively being bullied, layer in a female loudly laughing track. I know it sounds a bit intense, but these dramatic, exaggerated sound effects drastically amplify the emotional impact of those visuals. And this brings us to our absolute final safeguard. Whatever you do, do not add your background music in your editing app. If you do that, you're risking some pretty devastating copyright strikes. Instead, add your background music directly from the YouTube library during the actual upload process on YouTube. The platform provides this music specifically so you can use it safely. And of course, right before you hit that final upload button, just double-check that you've exported your final masterpiece from your editor at a crisp 1080p resolution with all those quality settings cranked to the absolute max. So, we've covered the psychology, the visual generation, the HD animation, the retention editing, and the safe upload strategies. You now possess the complete alchemical formula to turn free AI tools into viral, highly monetizable shorts. So, I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. What simple, relatable animal challenge will you bring to life next? The tools are sitting right there, waiting. And trust me, the audience is ready. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, happy creating!